All right, complete the table of values for the years 1960 to 2010. First, it wants you to count the decades since 1960. And then it wants you to determine the value of the house. It wants you to find the difference between consecutive decades. And it wants you to find the ratios between consecutive decades. So, decades means every 10 years. So from 1970 to 1960, that's 10 years. So that's one decade. From 1980 to 1960, that's 20 years. So that's two decades. 1990 to 60 is three decades because it's 30 years. From 2000 to 1960, that's 40 years, which is four decades. And 2010 to 1960 is 50 years, so that's five decades. Now remember, it says every 10 years this house value doubles. We already determined that it would be 20,000 and 40,000 and 80 and 70. So let's go ahead and put those in. This would be 20,000. This is 40,000. In 1990, we would expect this value to double again. So that would make it 80,000. And after 80,000 comes 160 because we'd multiply by 2 again. And in 2010, we would expect the value of this house to be $320,000. All right. What is the difference between values of consecutive decades? So the subtraction. So we already figured from 20,000 to 10,000, that was $10,000, right? What is 40,000 to 20,000? That's 20,000. If we did 80,000 minus 40, we would get 40,000. 160,000 minus 80,000 is 80,000. 320,000 minus 160,000 is 160,000. For this next section, I'm going to use the calculator. Here we're going to be doing some dividing. We're going to divide our consecutive years. So we're going to do 20,000 divided by 10,000. That's 2, just like we figured earlier, right? Let's do 40,000 divided by 20,000. That's 2. Next, we're going to do 80,000 divided by 40,000. That's 2. 160,000 minus 80, sorry, not minus, divide. Divide 80,000. That's 2. And this time we're going to do 320,000 divided by 160,000. That's 2. What patterns do you recognize in the table? I noticed that our differences are different for each decade. We do notice that our differences increase. I also notice this right here: 2, 2, 2, 2. The ratio is the same. On to the next set of questions.